Okay, picture this. You're in a city, but it's so densely packed, so built up that sunlight hardly hits the streets. It's actually tough to even know what time it is sometimes.
Yeah, and you step out into this kind of maze of stacked roads and buildings. It's confusing.
And there's this feeling, right? Almost like machines are watching you, not just people.
That's Chongqing. We're talking about a city in southwest China with, get this, over 32 million residents.
32 million,
Yeah,
that's more than all of Australia.
exactly. And many of them living in this sort of perpetual twilight, the source mentions, just because of how the city's been built.
And it's not just tall buildings, it's the layout. The source describes entering a building on floor 22, right?
hmm
And then walking out across the street, somehow onto the 12th floor of another building.
It sounds deliberately disorienting, like a vertical labyrinth, as you said. It's designed that way, it seems.
But then on the other hand, Chongqing is this huge engine for global tech.
Oh, absolutely. The source says half the world's laptops are made there. You've got giants like Lenovo, Foxconn,
Hmm.
major operations.
So it's churning out all this digital hardware.
But for the people actually living there, the source paints it more like navigating a digital labyrinth in their daily lives. It's quite a contrast.
Yeah, and there's this other layer, this cyberpunk fever dream feel the source talks about.
Right, you've got the neon lights, the delivery robots zipping about,
Uh-huh.
all very futuristic.
But maybe leaning heavily on productivity. Maybe less focus on just peace, quiet.
That seems to be the implication. And this is where it gets, well, the source uses the word chilling, this intersection of tech and control.
Okay, let's dive into that, the surveillance aspect. You mentioned it earlier.
Yes, since 2015, Chongqing has been a key site for China's Sharp Eyes project. It's a nationwide thing.
Sharp eyes. Okay, what does that actually mean on the ground? It's not just a couple of CCTV cameras, I take it.
No, we're talking nearly 28,000 cameras, according to the text, covering basically every inch of the city. That's the goal.
28,000. Wow.
And these aren't just recording footage. The tech behind them is key. Facial recognition systems.
Tracking people.
Tracking people, traffic violations, what they call suspicious gatherings,
Mm.
even monitoring sound levels, temperature, social behavior patterns. It's like a massive digital scam constantly running.
So the city itself is basically one giant sensor. But wait, it's not just the government tech, right? The source mentioned something about citizens reporting.
That's right. Citizens are apparently encouraged to use neighborhood screens to report on each other.
That really blurs the line between, being neighborly and being part of a surveillance network.
It fundamentally changes the social dynamic, doesn't it? When your neighbor could be, well, feeding into the same system as the AI cameras, the source definitely highlights that tension.
So, putting it all together, Chongqing is painted as this hyper-efficient, super-connected city. A blueprint for the future, maybe.
Potentially. But the source also calls it eerily cold. There's this argument presented that the whole environment, the stacked streets, the lack of light, might prioritize productivity over, well, people.
Right. Are we optimizing for output instead of, human experience?
That's the question it raises. The source even uses this analogy of living inside a simulation.
Constantly online, constantly monitored.
Yeah.
Always within the system's view.
Yeah, and it's crucial to remember Chongqing isn't some isolated case. The text points out similar tech being tested elsewhere, Singapore, Dubai, even parts of the US.
Which really brings us to the big question for you listening. As we embrace facial recognition, AI policing, this kind of algorithmic city planning, who are we really designing these cities for? Is it for the people living in them? Or is it primarily for the machines, for maximum efficiency?
It's a tough balance because the future of these smart cities, it isn't decades away. As the source shows with Chongqing, in many ways, it's already here.
And we really need to think, right now, about the potential cost. What could this level of integrated technology mean for our personal freedom down the line? Something to consider.